Welcome to our B of Redditor updates, where OP gets his own parents arrested with felony charges. Our next Reddit post comes from our credit score. My parents opened up several credit cards in my name while I was away at college. They racked up more than $15,000 in debt, and now they want to kick me out because I brought it up. Guess this is a harsh lesson in watching your finances closely. After finishing my freshman year, I returned to my parents' house for the summer. I noticed that my mom made it a habit to always grab the mail on Mondays or Tuesdays before I could. One time, she literally ran out of the kitchen just to beat me to the mailbox. I didn't think much of it, until today. The mail arrived early and I happened to grab it first. That's when I saw a letter from a collection agency addressed to me. I opened it and nearly passed out. Apparently, I owed nearly $5,000 on a Capital One credit card I didn't even know existed. After panicking, I called my dad at work. He seemed uncomfortable and told me to talk to your mother. That was weird, but I didn't read into it until my mom got home. When I asked her about it, she casually admitted that she and my dad had opened a few credit cards in my name for household expenses. According to her, I owed around $10,000 to 3 different credit card companies. That was horrifying enough, but then I checked my credit report. I was $115,000 in debt. Naturally, we got into a huge argument. My mom's excuse? Her parents did the same thing to her when she was 18. She told me to file for bankruptcy and said it wouldn't hurt me because I wasn't buying a house anytime soon. I told her I'm interested in a government job and that bankruptcy would absolutely ruin my chances. She just shrugged. She didn't seem to care. When my dad came home, they sat me down together and said I had 2 options. I could declare bankruptcy or move out by the end of the month. Funny how they left out option C, call the cops. It just feels so wrong. Bankruptcy would wreck my credit and possibly tank my career. I used to have a score around 720. Now I don't even know how to begin fixing this mess. Down in the comments, people pointed out how insanely illegal this was. One user said, "This is identity theft. It's a felony. The ball's in your court." Another pointed out that as a tenant, I couldn't just be kicked out, they'd have to legally evict me. 1 month later, I posted an update. I ended up following the advice from most people here. I filed a police report. The officer took printed records of the credit cards as evidence. Once I had the report, I called all the credit card companies and gave them the police report number. 3 of them accepted it and were surprisingly cooperative. But the collection agency tried to pull a fast one. They wanted me to make a goodwill payment so they could start investigating the fraud. They even told me they might still sue me if I didn't cooperate. I refused, obviously. I wasn't about to let them access my bank account. I didn't tell my parents I had gone to the police. For a couple of weeks, they had no clue. Then, right after Memorial Day, they got a call from the detective. Everything exploded. They started yelling at me. My dad even threw some of my stuff out the front door. I called the cops. When the officers arrived, they told my parents they'd need to file an eviction to make me leave. The next day, I came home from work to find the locks changed. My parents refused to let me in and said all my belongings were at my grandparents' house. I filed another police report for unlawful eviction. I was told it was a civil issue, but I retrieved my stuff from my grandparents' place. Thankfully, a friend of mine had a couple of spare rooms and let me stay there. I'm moving into my own apartment next week. Once I calculate the full cost of everything, including the move, I'll be filing a civil suit against my parents for the illegal eviction. The detective told me my parents weren't exactly honest in their interviews. He also said the state attorney's office would likely move forward with charges soon. There's a good chance my mom, or both of them, will be arrested and spend at least 1 night in jail. No matter what, I feel like I made the right call. The world was completely stacked against me. My parents betrayed me, collection agencies were trying to scam me, but I made it out, thanks to Reddit. The best part? I never told my parents I filed a police report. Just like they never told me they racked up $115,000 in debt using my name. Oops. Sorry, Mom and Dad. Next up, from our relationships. At the time of this story, I was a 27-year-old woman, and my boyfriend Josh was also 27. About a year ago, I was head over heels in love and about to move in with Josh, my first serious boyfriend. That's when one of my closest friends dropped a bomb. She said that Josh had shown her a nude photo of me on his phone at a party while he was drunk. Then 5 or 6 of my other friends confirmed it. They said Josh not only showed the photo, but also described our sex life in disturbing detail. This didn't sound like Josh at all. But when I confronted him, he flat out denied it. Eventually, he got angry and started accusing all my friends of lying. One night, he even showed up at my place while some of my friends were there and things got tense, almost physical. It was confusing. Josh seemed completely distraught. But all my closest friends were painting him as this toxic liar. I knew he had those photos on his phone. It was dumb, but we'd taken them in the heat of the moment. Still, I trusted my friends more. I broke up with Josh. He was devastated. He cried, nearly punched a wall, and stormed off. It was heartbreaking. A few months later, I started dating Alex, one of the friends who told me about the photo. Everyone was encouraging it. We didn't last long, but we stayed friends. Then, just today, another friend messaged me. He said he needed to confess something. The story about Josh wasn't true. They had made it up, just to get me to break up with him. They wanted me to date Alex instead. I asked around and confirmed it. They all lied. It was this orchestrated lie that completely flipped my life upside down. Apparently, they just hated Josh and thought he was a jerk. But that wasn't their decision to make. I cried for 2 hours in the office bathroom. I loved Josh. We were planning a future together. And I've known this friend group since high school. I feel like my whole social circle has been nuked. I can't imagine ever talking to them again. But now, I need closure. Should I call Josh? 1 week later, I posted an update. Everyone told me not to reach out, but I did anyway. I emailed Josh. Here's what I sent. Josh, I don't know if you're still on Facebook, but you probably already know why I'm writing. I know it's unfair and selfish, but I couldn't go through life without apologizing. I'm sorry I didn't trust you. I'm sorry I let others decide our relationship. I'm sorry for what I put you through. I've spent the last day wondering where we'd be if I had believed you. Would we be engaged? Married? I'm not over you. I'm not asking for anything, but if you're ever thirsty, I'd love to buy you a drink. I want to talk. I miss you. I miss everything. The fights over money, the fries I stole, binge-watching The Office. I miss you. Just writing that was cathartic. I spent the next day watching movies, trying not to think about it. Then the doorbell rang. I ignored it, thinking it was Amazon. But after a minute, I peeked through the peephole. It was Josh. My heart was in my throat. I hadn't expected that. I opened the door in a robe, stammered a hi, and told him I'd get dressed. I ran around like a lunatic, tossed on clothes, pulled my hair back, and returned. I'm here for that beverage, he said. I only had orange juice and water. Embarrassing. But he stayed. He didn't even want to talk about the photo incident. He said we both knew the truth now. We just talked. Like old times. He asked if I was hungry. I wasn't, but said yes anyway. We went to our favorite burger place. He asked if I'd dated Alex. I told him. He wasn't upset. He'd had a 6-month relationship himself. I didn't pry. When we got back, he asked what I was doing for the rest of the day. I said nothing. So he stayed. Then stayed the night. We spent Sunday together. Then Tuesday. Then Wednesday. Eventually, we talked about it. We're dating again, exclusively. I don't know where this will go. But I trust him. Completely. If he told me the earth was flat, I might believe it. Maybe that's silly. But I'm happy. And honestly, Writing that letter was the best decision I've made all year.